My brother predicted his own murder 5 months before his heart attack. I didn't believe him then. Tommy had always been the careful one, the planner, the man who saw angles nobody else could. But when I walked into Martin Breesland's office that February afternoon and saw Christine perched in the corner chair, her black dress costing more than my first car, that cold smile stretching across her face like a crack in ice, every muscle in my 64-year-old body went rigid with the terrible truth. Tommy hadn't been paranoid. He'd been right. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go back to where this really started, to the day I buried my brother. His name was Thomas. Tommy to everyone who loved him. He was my younger brother by 4 years, and for 63 years, he was my best friend. We grew up in Halifax, moved to Toronto together in our 20s, built Pearson Construction from nothing side by side, equal partners in everything. Tommy never married, never wanted to. He'd watched too many marriages curdle into bitterness, seen too many friends become strangers to their wives. He preferred his freedom, he said, preferred to invest his love in family, in our business, in his nieces and nephews, especially my son Marcus. Marcus was Tommy's godson. Tommy held him before I did because I was too shaky with emotion in the delivery room. He taught Marcus to skate on the frozen pond at Georgian Bay, to fish for pike at dawn, to hammer a nail straight without bending it. He paid for half of Marcus's engineering degree, because he said the boy had a brilliant mind and brilliant minds shouldn't be burdened with debt. Tommy was more than an uncle to Marcus, was a second father. That is why what happened felt like such a profound betrayal, not just to me, but to Tommy's memory. Tommy died of a heart attack. Sudden, massive. He was inspecting foundation work on a condo development in Mississauga, knelt down to check a concrete pour, and simply collapsed, gone before the paramedics navigated through the construction debris. He was 66. The funeral was small, exactly as Tommy wanted. He'd updated his will 6 months earlier, specific about every detail. Small service, cremation, ashes scattered in Georgian Bay where we used to fish as kids. No fuss. He hated fuss. Marcus gave the eulogy, standing before the 30-odd people Tommy had cared about most. My 34-year-old son, successful structural engineer, spoke beautifully about the man who taught him to see the world in load-bearing terms, who showed him that strength and kindness weren't opposites but complements. He had everyone in tears, including me. Christine sat beside me in the front row, holding my hand. She'd been Marcus's wife for 6 years by then. I had never warmed to her completely. There was always something calculating behind her eyes, something that made me weigh each word before speaking. But she seemed devoted to Marcus, and that was enough for me to try. After the service, after we had scattered Tommy's ashes and shared stories over whiskey at my house, everyone went home. Marcus and Christine stayed to help clean up, or rather, Marcus stayed. Christine disappeared into the guest room after 20 minutes, claiming a migraine. "Dad," Marcus said as we washed dishes together, his hand scrubbing a plate in slow circles. "Uncle Tommy's lawyer called me yesterday." I dried a plate slowly. "Martin breathed. Yeah, he wants to meet with both of us next week. About the will." I already knew what was in the will. Tommy and I had gone over it together when he updated it. "He is leaving you 40% of his share of the business. The rest is split between your cousins and some charities." Marcus was quiet for a moment. Nay said, "Dad, I need to tell you something. Christine has been difficult about money lately." I put down the dish towel. "What do you mean?" "She thinks we should be living in a bigger house, driving better cars. She does not understand why I'm still paying off my student loans when her friend's husband just ... double quotes." He trailed off. "I do not know. She compares a lot." This did not surprise me, but it disappointed me. "Son, you are an engineer at one of the best firms in Toronto. You make good money." "I know, but she grew up wealthy. Dad, her father owned that pharmaceutical company. She is used to a different lifestyle. Her father went to prison for fraud. Marcus' dad company was built on lies. She is not her father." I wanted to say more, but I bit my tongue. This was my son's marriage, not my business. Lest he asked for help. He did not ask. 1 week after Tommy's funeral, I went to Martin Breesland's office for the will reading. It was a cold February afternoon, the kind of grey Toronto day that makes you forget the sun exists. Martin's office was in one of those old buildings near Asgood Hall. Old dark wood and brass fixtures that smelled of furniture polish and old paper. The receptionist smiled. "Mr. Pearson, they are waiting for you in the conference room." I should have asked who they was, but I was still in that fog of grief where everything feels distant and slow. I opened the conference room door and there she was, Christine, perched in the corner chair like she belonged there, wearing a black dress that was too expensive for a family will reading, her face perfectly made up. That smile. Marcus was not there. "Where is my son?" I asked. Martin Breesland stood from behind the conference table. He looked uncomfortable. "Mr. Pearson, please sit down." Mrs. Pearson. Christine requested to attend this meeting in Marcus's place. "She has his power of attorney since when?" "Since 3 months ago," Martin said carefully. 3 months ago. Right around the time Tommy updated his will. I sat down slowly. Something was very wrong. Martin opened a folder. I will get straight to it. Thomas Pearson's will is being contested. Christine has filed a claim that Thomas was not of sound mind when he made his most recent changes and that undue influence was exerted. That is insane. I said. Tommy was perfectly healthy, sharp as ever. He updated his will because he wanted to be organized. He always was. And furthermore, Martin continued, his voice strained, Christine is claiming that as Marcus's legal representative, she should receive direct control of any inheritance due to him, citing concerns about family business complications and Marcus's current mental health struggles. The room tilted. What mental health struggles? My son is fine. Christine spoke for the first time. Her voice was smooth. Too smooth. Richard, we did not want to worry you. Marcus has been seeing a therapist for depression and anxiety. It has been quite severe. I have been managing our finances because he is not in a state to make major decisions. Right now, this was a lie. It had to be. I had just seen Marcus a week ago. We had talked for hours. He was grieving, yes, but stable, functional. I want to speak to my son, I said. He is not taking calls right now, Christine said. Doctors, or does he need space from stressful family situations? I looked at Martin. Is this legal? Can you do this? Martin's jaw was tight. If she has power of attorney and if there is medical documentation, then yes, temporarily. But Mr. Pearson, there is something else you should know. I need to speak with you privately. Christine stood up. Whatever you need to say to Richard, you can say in front of me. I am family. No, Martin said firmly. This concerns something Thomas specifically instructed me to share with Richard alone. You will need to wait outside, Mrs. Pearson, for just a second. Christine's mask slipped. I saw anger flash across her face, cold and sharp. Then the smile returned. Of course I understand. She left the room, heels clicking on the hardwood floor like a clock counting down. Martin waited until the door closed. Then he walked to a cabinet and pulled out a large envelope, a kind for legal documents, sealed with Tommy's signature across the flap. Your brother came to see me 5 months ago, Martin said quietly. Not 6 months, when he updated the will. 5. He came alone, did not make an appointment, just walked in. He looked worried. Said he needed to tell someone something officially, in case anything happened to him. My throat was tight. What'd he say? He said he was concerned about Christine. That he had overheard a conversation between her and a man he did not recognize at Marcus's birthday party last April. They were in the garage. Did not know Tommy was in the backyard having a smoke. He said Christine was talking about money, about waiting, about how the old men cannot live forever and how she had worked too hard on this to back out now. The room went cold. Tommy did not know what it meant, Martin continued, but it bothered him enough that he came to me. He said if anything happened to him, anything at all that seemed even slightly suspicious, I was to give you this envelope and tell you to be careful. He said Christine was smart, too smart, and that he thought she married Marcus for reasons that had nothing to do with love. I took the envelope with shaking hands. What is in here? I do not know. He sealed it in front of me, made me promise to only give it to you if he died, and only if you were alone. Martin leaned forward. Richard, I knew your brother for 20 years. He was the most rational, level-headed man I ever met. He was not paranoid, he was not dramatic. If he was worried enough to do this, then something is very, very wrong. I opened the envelope. Inside was a flash drive, a handwritten letter, and a stack of printed documents, bank statements, email printouts, photos. Tommy's letter was dated 5 months ago, his handwriting clear and steady. Richie, it began. Only Tommy ever called me Richie. If you are reading this, I am gone, and I need you to be smarter than I was. I need you to see what I should have seen years ago. Christine is not who she pretends to be. I have been watching her for the past year. Since that conversation I overheard, I started paying attention, really paying attention. She has been systematically isolating Marcus from everyone. Slowly, carefully. You probably did not notice because she is subtle, but think about it. When was the last time Marcus came to Sunday dinner alone? When was the last time he called you just to talk without Christine on the line? When was the last time he saw his cousins, his friends from university? She has cut him off piece by piece. I hired a private investigator. His report is in this envelope. Christine's real name is Christine Holloway, but she has used 3 other names. She has been married twice before. Both husbands were older men with money. Both died within 10 years of marriage. One from a medication error, one from a fall down the stairs. Both left everything to her. She is a con artist. Richie a very good one. And she has got her hooks in our Marcus. The flash drive contains recordings. I put audio recorders in my own house after I became suspicious. You will hear her talking to someone on the phone. Planning, calculating, talking about me like I am already dead. Talking about you like you are next. I do not know what to do with this information. I cannot go to Marcus. He is so in love with her. He will not believe me. I tried once to gently suggest he be careful. He got defensive. Said I was being paranoid in my old age. So I am leaving this for you because you are stronger than me. You have always been the strong one. If something happens to him, anything that seems even slightly off, you need to investigate. You need to protect Marcus, and you need to protect yourself. She is dangerous. Richie. I do not know her endgame, but I know she is playing a long con, and we are all marks. I've changed my will to make it harder for her to get anything directly. But she is smart. She will find a way to contest it, to manipulate it. Watch her carefully, and please, please be careful. I do not want to lose you, too. Love, Tommy. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped the letter. I looked at Martin. When did my brother die? February 3rd. Why? How exactly did he die? I know it was a heart attack, but what caused it? Martin pulled out another file. The coroner's report said massive cardiac arrest. But Richard, there was something unusual. There were traces of a medication in his system, digitalis. It is a heart medication, but in high doses it can cause cardiac arrest. Tommy did not take heart medication. I know the coroner noted it but ruled it as possibly something he took without prescription or a contamination. The death was ruled natural because Tommy had some arterial blockage. It was plausible he would have had a heart attack, but not certain. Not certain. I opened the private investigator's report. Photo after photo of Christine meeting with a man. In expensive suits, having lunch, having coffee, having very intimate conversations in parked cars. The man was identified as David Wickham, a financial consultant with a history of helping people hide assets offshore. The bank statements showed money moving out of Marcus's accounts. Small amounts at first, then larger, transferred to accounts in Christine's name only. The emails were between Christine and David, talking about the timeline, about elderly asset acquisition, about making it look natural. I felt sick. She is going to kill me, I said out loud. She killed Tommy and now she is going to kill me. And then Marcus will inherit everything and she controls Marcus. Martin's face was grim. We need to go to the police. With what? Circumstantial evidence. And a recording. She'll say it is fake. She will say Tommy was paranoid. She'll say I am a grieving brother seeing conspiracies. I stood up. I need to see my son. I need to see Marcus face to face. She will not let you near him. I am his father. She cannot stop me. But she could, and she did. When I went to Marcus's house that evening, Christine answered the door. She was calm, pleasant. Richard, I am sorry, but Marcus really cannot see anyone right now. His doctor thinks family stress is making his depression worse. I need to talk to him. 5 minutes. I cannot allow that. I am protecting him from his own father. From stress. You are grieving, Tommy. You are not yourself. Marcus does not need that energy right now. I tried to push past her. She stepped back and said loudly, Richard, please do not force your way into our home. I will have to call the police. A neighbor was watching from across the street. Christine waved at her, playing the victim, playing the concerned wife, protecting her sick husband from his aggressive father-in-law. Left. I had no choice that night. I sat in my house and listened to the recordings on Tommy's flash drive. Christine's voice clear as day. He is old, 66. The heart attack will be believable. Everyone will think it is natural. A man's voice. David Wickham, presumably. And the brother, Richard. He will be easy after Thomas is gone. He has got high blood pressure already. Another year, maybe 2, and then we will have everything. And Marcus is handled. He believes everything I tell him. Porton thinks he is depressed. Thinks he needs me. I've got him on medications that keep him foggy, compliant. By the time his father dies, he will not even question it. You are certain the dosage is right. You do not want him actually damaged. I am careful. I learned from the mistakes with husband number 1. Marcus will be functional enough to inherit and sign papers, but not functional enough to fight me. It is a delicate balance, but I am good at delicate lapping. They were laughing. I stopped the recording. I could not listen anymore. My brother was murdered, my son was being drugged, and I was next on the list. I sat in the dark for a long time, thinking. Then I made a decision. I called Martin Breslin. I need you to file a legal motion. I want a full investigation into Tommy's death. I want an autopsy review, and I want a court-ordered medical evaluation of Marcus. An independent doctor, not whoever Christine has in her pocket. That is going to take time, Richard, and money. I have time. I have money. Do it. She will fight it. Let her fight. I am not letting her get away with this. The next 6 months were hell. Christine filed counter-motions. She got a restraining order against me, claiming I was harassing her and endangering Marcus's mental health. I could not go within 100 meters of their house. Marcus never called me, never reached out. I tried to call him, but Christine had changed his number. I hired my own investigator. We dug deeper into Christine's past. Found husband number 2, Gerald Matz, died from a fall down the stairs. Found husband number 1, Robert Shun, died from an accidental overdose of heart medication. Found that in both cases, Christine inherited everything. Found that she disappeared for 2 to 3 years between husbands, presumably to avoid suspicion. Found that her real name was actually Allison Draper, and she had been arrested twice for fraud in her 20s, but never convicted. We took everything to the police. Detective Sarah Chun, Toronto Police Fraud Division, took the case seriously, but she said the same thing everyone said.